This is Councilor Bencomos. I have a couple questions, but I feel like there's a couple things being conflated here. I met Deputy Chief Dominguez. I deeply trust and respect. This isn't about the blame that's being placed on LCPD. No one blames you for poverty, for mental health, the lack of mental health resources, for crime even, right? But there is a conversation being had about police brutality that I think needs to be addressed, and it needs to be, the people who hold that power have responsibility to address it, to name it. Person support police departments or not, this is about the desire to see transparency and to see my tax dollars being used in a responsible manner. Their lives have been lost, right? Like, I don't want us to forget that there have been lives lost. And I think people often go back to, well, maybe they were doing something wrong and there's here their crime record. Those people had families that loved them. They had parents and daughters and cousins and tíos and tías. They had people who deeply loved them. So as much as, we're making this call for LCPD officers who are people too, they're part of the community. So I think it's important that we point it out, right? That you said perhaps too that you need more resources. The reality is, though, that the LCPD budget is the largest budget in the general fund, perhaps next to Public Works. It is the largest budget, right? And so I think it's important that we know that the police department already has a lot of resources and that we should be leveraging those resources in a much better way, because there is something inherently that is not working. And I'll just end at that. I have a lot of questions. I will send them off your way. I don't want to get in trouble for what I can and cannot say. Maybe my last question will be, though, is when can we have
currently on staff, social workers, psychiatrists, or any of those kinds of people with those skill sets in the Las Cruces Police Department right now?
No, ma'am. Not that work for us. No, ma'am. Would it be reasonable to, as a result of this reform, I won't say defund, but I'd say reform, is it possible as a result of this initiative to recommend that we...
You're welcome to. I know they'll keep you safe. They'll probably put you in the supervisor's car, so you won't be right at the action, but you'll be kind of there. You'll be like,
oh my God,
something to, if you want to see.
Usually I'm scared of the police.
Huh?
I'm usually scared of the police.
Well, yeah.
Cause of a problem. We have absolutely over-relied on law enforcement and the criminal justice system to address the needs of our people, to address poverty, to address crime. To be really honest with you, law enforcement will not address those things. It's very reactionary. It's not proactive. Proactive measures include housing, behavioral health services, rehabilitation services, better schools, quality paying jobs, healthcare, community infrastructure. These are the things that people who are calling for a defund the police are calling for an investment in the things that we have neglected, which is true. Just last week, we talked about the 24% poverty rate. How about we invest some resources towards trying to eliminate that here in Las Cruces? Frankly, law enforcement will never eliminate poverty. That is just not their role. And so I think this is what I mean about having a conversation about public safety and that needing to really ultimately change. But it is a two-way street. It's a multiple road street when we're talking about transparency and accountability and moving forward to setting up these structures that will ultimately.
We're no different than anybody else. Our kids go to the same schools. We shop at the same stores. We are the public. We need to be better at it as far as being more willing to speak to the public as we're out there. And right now, to be honest with you, it's very contentious. We go out there, and in some sectors, there's some people that they blame us for everything, or they're blaming officers and calling names and things like that. We tell the officers, keep your head up, be professionals. That's what we do. We knew what we were getting into when we started this profession. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, blame is easier to cast than it is to receive. It's easy to blame us for all these issues that are going on. And we take our responsibility. We'll take our share of responsibility for that. But this is a community problem. So
8 can't wait. So many residents have emailed myself and members of the city council. And so we appreciate the opportunity to share with members of the public what exactly Las Cruces Police does in regards to this, as well as if I may, this one particular email I received, and it's pretty much a template email. So I'm going to read the actual email, and then I'll read the names of all the people who signed on to that or duplicate emails. So it says right here, also, there can be some emails that I will not be able to read because of the fact that it's actually pertaining to possible litigation or personnel action. Okay, so it says, Dear Mayor Miyagishima and the Las Cruces City Council, my name is Gail Tyree. I'm a resident of Las Cruces, and I'm emailing you this evening to demand an overhaul to our Las Cruces Police Department budget. In light of the Black Lives Matter protests across the U.S., specifically in Las Cruces, I am demanding that you, my local officials, will vote no on all increases to police budgets, vote yes to decrease police spending and budgets, vote yes to increase spending on healthcare, education, housing, community programs that keep us safe. The militarized tactics that police departments are using against citizens is unacceptable and unwarranted. We have seen mounting evidence that police departments are racist and ineffective institutions that put citizens at risk of injury and death. The approved fiscal year 2020 budget allocated over 61% of our public safety funds to the Las Cruces Police Department. To ensure your dedication to our city and citizens, I demand that you defund the Las Cruces Police Department and start providing more support and funding towards community-based safety and social programs. This reprioritization will be necessary to prevent further police brutality and violence in the future. And finally, mark a turn from over-policing and incarceration. Black, Latinx, and indigenous communities are living in persistent fear of being killed by state authorities like police, immigration agents, or even white vigilantes who are emboldened by state actors. So also signing off to this type of email, almost exactly, was Amy Pham, James Nance, Jean Thomas Tremblay, Alexandra Heller, Lillian Hayner, Jade Boyd, Camille Brown, Brandon Pina, Angela Thomas, Mia Penelope, Shannon Downey, Tess Drake, Kelly Carmichael, Shaylee Arvisu, Queen Marie, Megan McKinney, Phoenix Lopez, Santana Andazola, Danny Lara, Paul Schmidt, Justine Jimenez, Arizona Furphy, Rachel Roberts, James Davidson, Nathan Barone, Aaron Galindo, Cherokee Sullinger. Another one here is, I hope you will listen to the voices crying out from around the world. The need for change is dire. We must rethink the way we approach public safety. I am a concerned citizen of the city and I demand change. And that's from Rachel Roberts. This one's from Larry Giannini. Dear Council and Commission members, I hope you will do a thorough study of the 8 can't wait numbers. In addition, please consider reducing the legal immunity protections of the police and all government officials to an absolute minimum. Surely the goal should be that everyone is subject to the same laws and enjoying the same protections under the law. Please consider a local civilian review board of the police activity rather than sending hundreds of thousands of dollars to an East Coast consultant. Police Department by at least 50%. According to the New York Times Magazine, between 1977 and 2017, the percentage of public spending on police in Las Cruces rose 6.4% to 12.4%. That is, in 40 years, Cruces nearly doubled its spending on police. Below is a screenshot from Article 2017. 12% of all local spending in Las Cruces went to the police. Do note that all other cities in the screenshot devoting comparable percentages of local spending to police are far larger than Las Cruces. This is certainly not a matter of crime rates. Albuquerque has a higher crime rate than does Las Cruces, but spends a smaller percentage of its budget on police, 11% versus 12.4%. I split time between, let's see here. This is from Jamie Reeves. Dear local officials, I am asking for the complete and total defunding of the police. I'm asking for you to halt using taxpayer dollars provided by me and my neighbors to sponsor force that makes my Black neighbors live in fear. I want our city to adopt a new model of public safety, one that serves not only our white populations, but our Black and POC communities as well. Please care for our Black community.